Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for March 13th, 2020. So before we get started here, this is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so we're coming into Friday 13th, and it's been quite a week coming into Friday. All right, so in terms of what's going on overall in the markets right now, yesterday there was an address by President Trump, and essentially US banned the travel from Europe to the US, and market did not take that too well. We saw a big tumble in stocks, and we saw Japanese yen go up. And US dollar went up. So today there was a lot of buying of US dollar, and we have seen all US dollar crosses basically just tank. So that's the overall market, but overall basically investors are panicking. We saw S&P 500, Dow Jones, all of them, they had to trigger the halt in trading. It's the 7% drop. Once the market dropped 7%, they just halt trading for 15 minutes just to kind of calm things down before they pick it up again. So that had to be done today again. It happened Monday and again today. So overall, we saw a 10% drop in the stock market. It just been a one-way street. We also saw Fed intervene in the market. They bought $1.5 trillion of securities today. However, even that did not really do much for the market. We saw an up move based on that. We saw yen crosses go up based on that as well. But very quickly, that move was undone, and we saw prices drop once again. So overall, still panic in the markets. There is a move towards safe haven currencies that we are seeing, and people are trying to get out of the stock market, and it's causing the stock market to drop even more. We also have ECB, or had ECB today. ECB didn't really go negative on their rates. Some people were expecting them to go negative. They didn't do that. They did commit to buying more securities, also doing long LTRO, long-term refinancing operations. So they are trying to support the market as well. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of support as a result of their actions. So overall, anything the central banks have done so far has not really helped the market. Coming up on Thursday here, actually, one thing we need to keep in mind right now is the intervention from Bank of Japan. So Bank of Japan has been intervening in the market. There have been a lot of meetings between Bank of Japan, Governor Kuroda, and Minister of Finance, Abe. So these meetings basically are to kind of assess the market and see if intervention is required. And based on what we have been seeing, the flows in the market, looks like they have been intervening in the market to make sure that Japanese yen does not become too expensive. But in spite of that, we are still seeing that Japanese yen, there are flows going into Japanese yen as well as US dollar right now. So we do need to keep an eye on any of these operations, because anytime they sell Japanese yen, it will push the yen crosses up. So that's something to be aware of as you are trading. On Friday here, we have CPI numbers out of Germany and France here. We also have consumer sentiment numbers here. They are likely to drop, but if there's a further drop here, we could see US dollar actually go the other way. But other than that, not a whole lot of data coming out on Friday. Let's take a look at the charts here. Quite a wild day in the markets here. As we can see, euro went up and then dropped all the way down into 105.65 level here, but quite a wild day here. So right now, bias is still to the downside. US being a safe haven currency, I would expect more flows to go into US dollar. So we're looking at other currencies being short against the US dollar. So my bias is to the downside. I will look for a potential pullback into 1.1220 and then looking for a drop here. And in terms of the targets here, the first target is 1.1120, and then this is quite big actually, 1.1090. So looking for a drop in the market here. So bias is bearish for euro dollar. Pound, we were looking for a drop here as well. Quite a drop. I did not expect it to go down this much, but it's been one-way street here. So bias is still to the downside. In terms of a pullback, we may get a pullback into 1.2650. Bias is bearish here. First target is 1.2400, and then looking at 1.2300. So bearish bias here for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, again, a huge drop in the markets, and we haven't seen these levels in a long time. We have gone past, so we need to go to the weekly chart here because we haven't seen these levels. So in order to find support here, we have gone past 2008 levels, or we are testing into the lows of 2008 levels. Next target here is 0.6070. So bias is to the downside for Aussie dollar. We could get a pullback into, actually already got a pullback into 0.6320, and then looking for a further drop here. First target is 0.6220, and then I would look for 0.6100 and then 0.6070. So bias is bearish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, another one that dropped quite a bit here. Bias is still bearish here. And in terms of a pullback, we have to go all the way back here to find these levels. Okay, so again, bearish bias here. Didn't really find that pullback level. Just let's try again. Here we go. Okay, so we could get a pullback into 0.6150 around this level, and then looking for a drop. Target is 0.60. So bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, with all the flows going into US dollar, dollar CAD is bullish. We were looking for an up move. We got more than the up move that we were looking for here. So bias is still bullish here. And in terms of the targets, we are looking, the first target is 1.40. So we haven't seen prices at this level since 2015 here. And then beyond that, we've got, okay, so 1.40 is the first target, and then 1.4050, I would say, will be the second target here. So bias is bullish for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our silver here, commodities. Silver not faring too well here, looking for a further move to the downside, big drop here in silver. And next target here is to the downside again. Looks like we have momentum to the downside, but price is into support here as well. So this is an important support. If price holds above 15.50, we could see it go higher. But as we can see, the momentum is very much to the downside. So bias here is bearish. Now we may get a pullback into this level here, into 16, and then a drop or just a straight drop here. So bias here is bearish for silver still. And in terms of the target, next target is 15.20. Gold here, gold is also bearish here. We are back into that support level. Now, we have to be careful with this one because it is an important support level. This is where price bounced off of. However, bias is still bearish here for gold. Next target is 1535, and then below that, we're looking at 1520. So bias is bearish for gold. In terms of a pullback, we could get a pullback into 1593. So I would watch out for that. But overall bias here is still bearish for gold, and this is the type of move I would watch out for. Oil here, oil, we were looking for a drop. We got that drop, still bearish on this. I will look for a retest of 27.80. Now with oil, things can change if we could get something or some sort of an agreement between OPEC and Russia and they get off of this price war. But unfortunately, until then, oil is still looking weak here. So 27.80 will be the next target for oil. And then we are into these lows that we haven't seen since 2016. And beyond that here, we need to go to a weekly chart. And I got nothing. So we are into lows that we haven't seen forever. So bias bearish, so next target is 27.80 for oil. Copper here is looking bearish as well. We saw a break below this support at 2.40. So next target here is 2.37. So bearish bias here. And beyond that, we have 2.34. And then 2.31, so bias is bearish. And targets here, 2.34 and 2.31 are the next targets to the downside for copper. Bitcoin just fell off of the cliff here and still momentum is to the downside. I would look for a further move to the downside here. And we could potentially come all the way down here into 3,300 level. For now, the next target is 4160 or 4200, and then we have 3330. So bias is bearish for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this one has dropped 10% today, a huge drop, even more than what we saw on the open on Monday there. And in terms of targets here, we are basically into the lows from 2018. So next target is 2,400 and then 2,330. So bias is bearish for S&P 500. Now, I would expect more intervention from the Fed. So today they injected about $1.5 trillion into the market, but even then the market didn't really go up. So we did see that move up, but then that sold quickly. So people are using the rallies to sell into. And if that continues, we could see a further drop here in S&P 500. So 2,400 is the first target here, and then 2,330 would be the second target. Same thing here for Nasdaq here, big drop here. And in terms of targets here, we are looking at 69.20 as the first target, and then we've got 6,600 as the second target here. So bias is still bearish for Nasdaq. Again, I would, for Japanese yen, as well as all the stock markets here, expect intervention from the central banks, which means we could see a lot of volatility when they are putting money into the market. Then we see this huge move to the upside, and it's very fast and quick. And then we have seen the drop. So I would expect that kind of volatility going into tomorrow here as well. So Dow Jones here, again, huge move to the downside, taking quite a beating. We have surpassed that 2018 level here, and now we are into these levels from 2016. So first target is 20,350, and then second target 19,750 here. So bias is still bearish for Dow Jones. DAX here looking bearish as well. And in terms of targets here, we are very close into the support here from December 2015. So 8,700 is the next target here for DAX. So bias is bearish still. And FTSE here also looking very bearish. We have gone beyond that 2016 lows. And now oh, we are way down. So for this one, I would say 5,000 will be the first one, and then 4,500 the second one, but I don't really have anything on my chart to show me the next levels. So bias is bearish. I need to find different charts that have all the data from all the way going into 2009. My charts only go till 2014 here. So here we have bias still bearish here for Nikkei as well. 16,120 is the first target, and then we're looking at 15,350 as the next target here. So bias is bearish for Nikkei as well. So overall, market still looking bearish overall across the board here, but expect volatility, because during this time we will see all the central banks intervening in the market, injecting liquidity into the market, buying up securities, which can cause sudden moves to the upside in the stock markets. And on the other side, on the currency side, we are likely to see Bank of Japan as well as Swiss National Bank intervene in the market. So when they are selling Japanese yen and Swiss franc, we are likely to see all those crosses go up fairly quickly, because there's this rapid move up in all of those. So bias, so right now, just be mindful of all the volatility in the market. So that's it for today. Good luck with your trading for tomorrow. And then I will see you on Sunday. Bye for now.